When German engineers first examined early reports of America's tank production plans, many dismissed them outright. To them, the idea that the United States, still considered inexperienced in mechanized warfare, could mass-produce thousands of modern armored vehicles sounded like wishful thinking. Germany's own factories were already strained by shortages, Allied bombing, and the technical complexity of their panzers. So when they heard that America wanted to build tanks faster than any nation in history, they laughed. To the German mind, this level of output was impossible, especially while simultaneously building ships, planes, trucks, and munitions at unprecedented rates. Their skepticism grew when early Shermans began appearing on the battlefields of North Africa in late 1942. Though reliable, the M4 lacked the thick armor and heavy gun of the Panzer IVs and the newly fielded Tigers. German crews and engineers were confident that such a simplified design meant the tank had been rushed into production, and they assumed U.S. industry would never be able to refine or upgrade it quickly enough. What they didn't yet realize was that the Sherman had been designed from the start to be mass-produced at a scale no German factory could hope to match. American industry was built around a different philosophy: standardization. Instead of crafting tanks like luxury cars, the U.S. treated armored vehicles like assembly line machines. Components were interchangeable, parts were simplified, and designs were engineered specifically to be produced by workers who had never seen a tank before. Factories that had once built locomotives, farm equipment, refrigerators, and automobiles were now turning out engines, transmissions, and armor plates with stunning efficiency. The system was designed for speed, repeatability, and volume. By 1943, this industrial transformation became impossible for German observers to ignore. U.S. production hit a staggering pace, hundreds of new Sherman tanks rolling out every single week. American plants produced more tanks in a month than German factories could build in half a year. Engineers from the Reich Ministry of Armaments who reviewed captured production reports were stunned by the numbers. They had never seen anything like it. Even more shocking was that the Americans produced tanks while barely slowing down the output of aircraft, ships, and trucks. The secret was America's industrial mobilization strategy. Instead of concentrating production in a few highly specialized factories, like Germany did, the United States distributed assembly across dozens of facilities nationwide. Chrysler's Detroit Arsenal was the flagship plant, capable of building a tank every hour at its peak, but it was only one piece of a vast network. Ford, Press Steel Car Company, Baldwin Locomotive, and even small manufacturing firms contributed parts that fit together with perfect consistency. The Sherman was intentionally engineered so that any factory could build it. When German engineers finally got their hands on a knocked-out Sherman and inspected its internals, their opinions changed instantly. They realized these tanks weren't crude. They were efficient. The drivetrain was easy to service, the suspension could handle rough terrain, and the turret mechanism was engineered with simplicity that kept it reliable even in sand, snow, and mud. German reports noted that it took far less time to repair an American tank than a Panzer IV, Panther, or Tiger. And while German tanks were undeniably formidable, they required skilled labor, rare materials, and hours of meticulous assembly. On the eastern and western fronts, the consequences of these industrial differences became clear. German tank crews increasingly found themselves outnumbered, not by a handful of Shermans, but by dozens. Even if a Tiger or Panther could knock out several M4s, replacements arrived faster than losses. Every destroyed Sherman seemed to be replaced by two more within weeks. American armored divisions stayed mobile, supplied, and ready for combat because the factories behind them never stopped. To German engineers, this was the true weapon America wielded: unstoppable production. By 1945, the reality they once mocked had become a nightmare. U.S. factories produced an astonishing 49,234 Sherman tanks, more than Germany built of all tank models combined. The engineers who had once laughed at America's assembly line armor were now admitting privately that the United States had achieved something they could never match. American industry had turned the Sherman into a symbol of industrial dominance, proving that in modern warfare, the ability to build fast, efficiently, and in overwhelming numbers could be more decisive than any single tank's armor or gun.